Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you for joining me for this Let's Play of the Men of Yoshiwara, or Gyakuten Yoshiwara, whichever you prefer. Let's see, we are on Chapter 3 with Kagura-san, and I am having a really hard time doing his voice, trying not to get too gravelly or to let my voice crack, trying to give him this low, smooth voice, but oh, it's so difficult, so please excuse me for not doing him justice. I would need some kind of voice modulator in order to do him really well anyway, but oh well, I'm doing my best, please excuse me. Chapter 3, The Man That Moves My Heart. The next morning, I was greeted by the break of dawn. As soon as I awoke, the sight of the ornate ceiling jumped into my vision. That's right, I fell asleep last night while listening to Kagura-san's story. I quietly got up out of bed, but the person that was supposed to be sleeping next to me wasn't here. Kagura-san? The bed was completely empty. The sun had started to rise. I thought I woke up early, but did he leave because he felt it rude that I fell asleep in the middle of his story? No, I can't imagine that Kagura-san would get mad over such things. I tidied myself up and then left the room. But it's not like I had anywhere to go once I got out of the room. I walked around, worrying over what I should do. Then I saw Iroha-san coming from the opposite direction.
Oh, Hideo-san. Good morning.
Good morning. Iroha-san checked out my appearance. Then he gave me a cheery smile and bowed politely.
Your skin looks quite clear this morning.
Really?
Yes, you've become more beautiful. It would appear you were satisfied with Kagura-san.
He said those words after giving a meaningful chuckle. Once I understood that Iroha-san was trying to say, my face instantly became hot.
From your appearance, it looks like you took time to enjoy yourself last night, didn't you?
How should I respond to that? Iroha-san's assumption was wrong. What do I say at this point? Yes, we talked a little about Western studies.
Western studies?
Maybe this will let the people think that his Western studies aren't a waste after all. I thought that I should tell him the truth, but Iroha-san gave me a puzzled face.
I can't believe it.
It's useless for me to have a long conversation with him here, so I just bowed slightly and tried to pass by along his side. Just then...
If you're looking for Kagura-san, he surely must be at the Inari Shrine.
Huh? It's just like a manager to say something like that. While surprised by his sharpness, I briefly thanked him and then headed towards the Inari Shrine. I hastily made my way to the shrine. Why was Kagura-san at Inari Shrine? Morning in Yoshiwara is usually late. In the district, which knows no night, it seemed like now is the time to sleep. And yet, he went there alone this early in the morning. And when I heard Inari Shrine, I couldn't stop but think about the couple that ran off together. Could it be that he was running off with someone early in the morning? That's what I wondered. If that's what he's doing, then Iroha-san wouldn't have known that he was at Inari Shrine. Since Iroha-san knew that he was at Inari Shrine, it surely meant that he was there legitimately? While speculating on this, I arrived at the shrine. From the shrine grounds, I heard an unusual sound, intermixed with the sounds of birds singing. Whoosh, whoosh. It was the sound of something cutting the air. Then, his appearance gradually came into view. That's... Kagura-san. He was alone in the otherwise deserted Inari Shrine. Kagura-san was doing morning practice as he swung the bamboo sword over his head. Sweating profusely, and with a serious look, he would occasionally let out a deeply focused shout. His appearance was awe-inspiring. It was like I had witnessed something holy, so I stood there unable to even speak to him. All that you could hear were the sounds of him cutting through the air, and his rough breathing. This made his presence appear even more impressive. I just wanted to keep watching him like this. That's what I felt. I didn't want to disturb Kagura-san's breathing, or movement. I didn't want to disturb anything that he was doing, not in the least. My eyes and heart were taken away by everything about Kagura-san. Just then, I heard footsteps behind me. Are you peeping? When I turned back, there was Kagura-san. Kagura-san's assistant. Kagero-san.
I can't say that is a good hobby.
I'm sorry. It's just that he's so serious, so I've been hesitant to talk to him.
You were hesitating? I didn't think so. You've been staring at him, with a dazed look on your face. Well, it's not like I don't understand how you feel, so I won't blame you any more than this. He's such a good man, even though I'm a man too. I still find myself captivated by him sometimes. But if you came to peep on him knowing that he likes to get up early, I won't forgive you.
What do you mean? Kagero-san sneered at me like he was looking down on me.
I know it. You got this information from someone, didn't you? You woke up early on purpose to get his attention. I don't like that.
I see.
Please, stop acting like you understand. It makes me sick.
I wonder if Kagero-san hates me. If I've made you feel sick, then I'm sorry. But I didn't come here for any profound reason, like you think I did. When I woke up, I found that Kagero-san wasn't there, so I tried to find him like this. Kagero-san sneered at me again, like he was saying that he couldn't believe me.
I'm not sure if you're lying or telling the truth, but something makes me irritated when I'm talking to you like this.
I'm sorry.
If you feel sorry about that, then could you do so in an appropriate manner? In the first place, a person like you isn't a good match with this red light district.
I know that. I didn't fit in with this place. And Kagura-san wasn't a good match for me. My heart was in pain. What was this burning pain in my heart? Don't worry, because I don't think I'll come again. I drew my mouth into a forced smile. Kagero-san's mouth was also twisted slightly.
If you don't want to see me, then I'll try to avoid seeing you.
Did he think it was his fault? I was surprised by his unexpectedly innocent reaction. No, I don't mean that. I'll come back when I become a woman who's better suited to this town. Well, I'm going back to the room. I won't talk to him. Kagero-san looked at me in wonder. I'll go back to the room and prepare to leave. I walked around Yoshiwara in the early morning by myself. Though it was late, the signs that this town was starting to wake up appeared little by little. By chance, they were born as men. By chance, they were blessed with beautiful appearances. And perhaps they were not blessed by the circumstances that surrounded them at birth. Did they have days in which they were loved unconditionally? They found their way to Yoshiwara and sold the ephemeral love that was neither dream nor reality. During this time, some of them gained the skills to rise up in this world, and some of them had an appetite for learning and trained themselves regularly. And some women chase after these men. This is a world that I've never had a connection with. While recalling the events from yesterday, I went back to Kikuya.
Can't you stay a little?
Huh? I was waiting for him in the room, and that was the first thing out of his mouth after he came back.
You didn't stay in this room, did you?
Well, why do you think so? Though I didn't intend to do so, I did end up peeping at him while he was training. But Kagura-san shouldn't have known that. Plus, it was Iroha-san who told me where he was, so I didn't think that I did such a bad thing. And yet, when a sharp gaze pierced through me, my heartbeat sped up all by itself.
You have cherry blossom petals in your hair. Why is that?
He looked into my face, and I saw myself clearly in his eyes. I was just taking a little walk. His piercing eyes made my chest feel tight, and I had difficulty breathing.
A walk, huh? It must have been quite a walk, all the way to Inari Shrine.
He noticed me. I thought that he was so focused on his training that he didn't notice me.
Why did you think you would try to deceive my eyes?
I wasn't trying to deceive your eyes. We faced each other for a while, but...
It's time. I will see you off.
He said that to me in a monotonous tone, and then quickly stood up. I walked to the gate accompanied by Kagura-san and Kagura-san. Come to think of it, since helping the eloped couple yesterday afternoon, I've experienced things that were unknown to me before. I stepped into the red light district for the first time and joined a banquet. Of course I had the shocking experience of staying a night in the red light district, But more than that, what I've gained from this day was my encounter with Kagura-san and the other gentleman.
Will you miss me even a little bit?
Yes, of course. The red light district of Yoshiwara, where many people lose themselves in the world of dreams. Just then, I saw two familiar-looking people, walking towards me from the road ahead.
Are you leaving with Kagura-san and Kagura-san seeing you off?
It was Takeo and Tokiwa.
It seems that you didn't change your choice last night, did you? We were actually waiting for that. Did you know? Tokiwa, you had a lot of time last night, right?
Takeo said that and then looked into Tokiwa's face.
What are you talking about? I didn't have any free time last night. Is that so,
Excuse me, you're in the way. Please, clear the way. Kagura-san stepped in between Takeo-san and Tokiwa, who had suddenly started to argue. And then we tried to pass through between them, when...
Oh, there's no need to rush like that, is there? Let me get a peek at this cute lady's face in the morning.
Takeo swiftly stood in front of me, blocking the way. His eyes that glimmered in the morning sun peered intently into my eyes.
Well, how was it last night? Kagura-san's skills weren't bad, were they?
What are you saying? My face became hot from embarrassment. My lack of tolerance for this also got me so embarrassed that it was pathetic.
But don't you think I'm better skilled to pleasure women? No way. You're still lower ranking than he is. Speaking of lower ranking, isn't there someone lower than me? Ah, he's right here.
Are you talking about me? Stop arguing about stupid things. As I wondered what to do about this situation, I looked at Kagura-san. When I did, Kagura-san quickly put his hand around my back and pushed me.
You don't need to talk to them. Let's go.
Kagura-san pushed my back to urge me forward. Takeo-san and Tokiwa-san then said something to us, but soon left. Kagura-san caught up with us soon after, and the atmosphere turned to quiet. The gate was just a little further ahead. The thought that I might never come again suddenly made me feel lonely. Will I come back here again someday? Will I be able to see Kagura-san again someday? I still had enough money, but that's not the problem, that I knew clearly.
Will you come again?
Near the gate, Kagura-san asked me. But I couldn't answer. We stopped right in front of the gate.
Next time, I would like to hear your story, instead of my own.
Why here? Why would he say something to make my heart sway? It was a downright unfair thing to say. But this place is where men and women might find a connection. I guess I'll say yes, of course. Yes, of course. I'm not sure whether it was right of me to pay him lip service here, but Kagura-san gave me a slight smile. And with my head down, I slipped through the gate. When I turned back, I could see his faint appearance. I found that his lovely presence was more than enough to make my chest feel tight. Chapter 4. Kagura's Desire. That will finish the cargo check. Oh yes, I'm sorry, please wait a moment. 1 week later, after I came back from Yoshiwara, I was helping out at the warehouse of the family's business as usual. It was around this time 1 week ago. Oh, what a whirlwind of trouble that was. Misao, where have you been wandering about? I asked you to run errands yesterday. Yes, that's right. For the first time in my life, I stayed out overnight without permission. It was also natural that my mother would get angry at me. I'm sorry. I ran into a friend and we went to a restaurant. Then we walked around for a long time. I'm really sorry. But even after that, it still didn't seem like enough to calm my mother's anger. I made her worried. I deeply regret having made her worry. And even though I couldn't clearly tell her that, I did learn a lot in Yoshiwara. Those men in the red light district were beautiful and very fierce. They were strong-minded and pushed forward for the path that they believed in. I felt that everyone had their pride and lived their own lives. So I also wanted to live my life without shame. They made me firmly believe that. My life and happiness that were given to me, I've spent my day just receiving those things. That's not what it means to live. That's what they taught me. Mom, I've decided! My mother was surprised to hear me suddenly assert that in the middle of her lecture.
What have you decided?
I'm going to wake up early every morning and help the family business as much as possible.
Oh, really?
That will make me happy. My mother was looking at me with a vacant expression on her face. She must have really wondered why I was saying that all of a sudden. But after I said that, she stopped hassling me about staying out every night without permission. After that, I really did wake up early in the morning. I started learning how to do bookkeeping, and I even tried to help out with cooking. All of that was because the image of Kagura-san training early in the morning was engraved in my mind. When I helped with the cooking and toiled away at work, I would sometimes wonder if everything that happened in Yoshiwara was just a dream. It was bright here. People's expressions and conversations were so lively that it was all too bright. But it doesn't mean that I've forgotten what happened in Yoshiwara with Kagura-san. No. More than that, those memories come back to me with greater clarity as the days go by. The beautifully blooming cherry blossoms along the main street, the breathtaking courtesans procession, the stunningly gilded folding screen and engraved furniture, and Kagura-san. I'll try to live my life according to my own standards. I'll try my best to cherish my life. That's what I thought. But his appearance still continued to make my chest tighten. I should forget about him and just make it a good memory. That's what I thought, but I couldn't do it. I wanted to see him, just one more time. I wanted to see Kagura-san. Before I knew it, I found myself running towards Yoshiwara, gripping money in my hand. Once again, I went without even considering the consequences.
Welcome back, Hideo-san.
When I walked into the entrance to Kikuya, Yuraha-san welcomed me with a smile. I didn't expect that he would remember my name.
I thought that you would surely come again. Kagura has also been waiting for you.
Kagura has also been waiting for me? He probably said that just to make me feel better. Though I knew that, my heart was shaking with happiness. I didn't think that he would really be waiting for me. But did he even think of me at all?
You may have to wait for a while, but just make yourself comfortable.
I will, thank you so much. Then, a man with a larger-than-life attitude made an appearance.
I thought there might be a cute girl here. And it turns out to be you.
It's Takeo-san.
Why don't you come to my room today? We can enjoy some games, different from the ones Kagura plays.
Takeo-san smiled bewitchingly and looked into my face with a pipe in one hand.
Hideo-san chose Kagura. And that's why I'm giving her a direct invitation like this. Hey, Misao, if you choose me.
And after he said that, he brought his lips close to my ear.
If you choose me, I'll bring you to a happy place, you know?
The smell of his tobacco pipe and sweet incense mixed together. My face flared up and I felt confused.
Enough, Takeo. Don't cause trouble with the client.
What a lifesaver. Yura-san's words made Takeo pull his body back and recoil.
I was just playing around with her. Because this virgin's just so adorable. Takeo. Yes. I'll see you around, Misao. I'm sorry about that. Please come inside.
And so I was led into the room. Then...
Hideo-sama, thank you for returning.
Kagura-san! It's been a while. As soon as I saw Kagura-san appear in the room, I began to choke up.
It's a pleasure to see you again.
Do you remember me?
Do you think I would forget you?
His eyes looked at me as if he were testing me, but those eyes of his sharply pierced straight through me. I constantly thought that I didn't want you to forget me.
I'm grateful for that. Well then, please enjoy yourself today as well.
Kagura-san poured sake into my cup. For today I didn't want to have a gorgeous banquet like last time. I just want to spend a nice relaxing time with Kagura-san. So that's what I asked Iroha-san. But I didn't expect it to be this uncomfortable.
Are you bored?
I guess Kagura-san sensed that I was feeling and said that to me quietly. His glance wasn't on my eyes, but fell upon my hands. Was Kagura-san also feeling uncomfortable and looking around like me? Imagining that made me feel a little better. Kagura-san, you're the one who looks bored to be with me. Why did I blurt out such a mean thing to him? I didn't mean to do that. Kagura-san looked at me with eyes that gave no glimpse into what he was feeling. Then he blinked once.
If a gentleman feels that way, what will come of it? Just like any other night I was bought by a client. My only duty is to entertain my client.
I felt Kagura-san's face becoming clouded with sadness. I wanted to wipe it away, but how could I do that? Why did Kagura-san make such a face in the first place? Smile. Please smile.
Me?
Yes, I'll be more than pleased if you would just smile, Kagura-san. Kagura-san stared at me with a puzzled look on his face. We didn't say anything to each other for a while. Has there ever been a time where two people spent time together and felt as suffocating and impatient as we did now? Kagura-san, I've inconvenienced you, haven't I? Kagura-san's face moved into an expression that seemed to ask me, what do you mean? Have I inconvenienced you by coming to see you like this?
There is no gentleman who would find it an inconvenience to be visited and chosen by a client.
I'm not looking for that kind of answer. I want to know what you're thinking, Kagura-san. Then the room fell silent again. But this time Kagura-san immediately directed his strong gaze at me.
I didn't expect you to come back here again. I didn't expect that a completely innocent lady, like you, would come back to the red light district.
From my perspective, you also don't seem to fit in with the red light district. When I said that, his face winced with surprise, and then he looked at me.
Are you saying it would be a better fit for someone like me to challenge a fencing school?
No, I didn't mean that. Kagura-san's sharp gaze inadvertently made my words get caught in my throat. I tried to continue talking to him. This is my own impudent preconception, but I thought there were only ladies' men in the light district.
So what am I then?
When he asked me, it was really difficult to describe him in one word. After much thought, I said, Kagura-san is Kagura-san. The answer that I came to was rather dumb. Kagura-san looked at me with an incredulous look on his face. I'm sorry, but he looks mad. While feeling small, I heard a chuckle next to me. Huh? Kagura-san was laughing. Furthermore, he was laughing loudly, and with pleasure. Kagura-san?
I'm sorry. You're right. I couldn't be anyone else but me. But I didn't expect that you would be the one to explain that to me. It would appear that before I could find out how to entertain you, you have also entertained me.
I wasn't trying that at all. But seeing Kagura-san's laugh bloom with such enjoyment before my very own eyes made me feel relieved. The uncomfortableness that was previously filling the room cleared away as if it never existed at all.
Well then, what do you desire from me tonight?
What do I desire? This was another difficult question. So for tonight, let's see. I want to chat. I want to talk with you like last time.
Is that so? Do you remember our promise from when we said goodbye to each other? I said that I would like to hear your story, too, next time.
Of course. I started to feel excited, but held those feelings back. I remember what you said when we said goodbye to each other, but I can't talk about something great like Kagura. I would hate for him to think that I'm unlearned, and for him to find me boring. Why was I trying to show off? It's weird.
I'm not asking you to give a lecture. I just want to know what you like and what you don't like, because I want to know you more.
If that's what he wants, then me too. I want to know him more too. Then suddenly, he stretched his arms out to me. As soon as I noticed, my body instantly wrapped itself up in Kagura's arms.
This is the quickest way for a man and a woman to get to know each other better. I will ask your skin, while also asking those lips of yours.
As he said that, he softly stroked my cheeks and traced my lips. I got goosebumps all over my body. I felt like all my blood boiled up and was coursing through my body. I didn't mean the...
I know.
I tried to resist, but the truth is that I felt happy in his arms. This place felt lovely to me.
I won't do anything that you don't like. But won't you allow me to talk to you as I hold you like this?
Kagura-san's fingers slowly and neatly combed through my hair. Even though my whole body pulsated like it had become my heart, I felt a sense of peace in this place. What would you like me to talk about?
Talk about a time that you felt happy.
I'm happy right now. I stored this feeling in my heart and talked about a story from my childhood. Kagura-san's chest was very wide and warm, and it made me talkative. I want to stay here with him like this forever. While wishing that, I grew tired of talking that evening and fell asleep. That night, Kagura-san and I slept together in the same bed. Please, talk to me again. Talk to me about something that you like, Kagura-san.
Then I'm going to talk about Western studies again, if that's all right.
To be honest, I want to hear more about himself, but... Yes, please tell me about it. His story about Western studies was difficult, so of course I couldn't really understand. Kagura-san put his arms out from the bed and painted images in the air to explain to me. It showed how much he admired Western studies. It was quite clear that it was something he studied every day, in Yoshiwara all by himself. The fact that there was a gentleman talking about the studies of the far-off country of Holland was something that I wanted to firmly keep in my memory, even if I was the only one who would know it. That's what I thought. Okay, and that will be it for today. That was chapters 3 and 4. We'll continue with chapter 5, The Dream, in the next video. So I hope to see you in some future videos, and I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.